how can we introduce a fat analysis solution which can ensure that meat manufacturers, that's both slaughterhouses and processors, are not suffering such huge giveaways? The core concept is the introduction of a control loop. When you need to introduce a control loop, you need to introduce a measurement device so that you can actually have clear data about where you are in your production process. Fat analysis machines are indeed measurement devices that can measure the fat content of meat. They can measure the weight of the meat. They can also calculate what the protein and the moisture content of the meat that passes through it as well. And at the same time, check to see if there are any contaminants in that meat that could be harmful for either consumption, for consumers, or could potentially damage machinery further down the production line. But what do we do with this measurement device? How do we build a system? The key point is the development of a complete control system. Many of you might be familiar with a control loop like this in a whole host of different fields, from management to manufacturing. The key principles are that you manufacturers know what you want to produce, you know how to produce it, but we need to have the ability to check what's happening and compare the actual results with where the original plan was, but then also act on those results to modify what the situation is. Let's look at each of these areas in a little bit more detail. In the planning stage, again, you all know what your intended final product is. You all know what your customers are asking you to supply. You know which raw materials you would like to use to satisfy this demand. You would know what cost is of these different raw materials, what the availability is at any particular day in your production time. You'll also understand what the demand is and how this demand can vary to satisfy the production of these final products. All of these pieces of information are available, and you will use them to plan your very production. Additionally, you will know how to produce your final products. What are the processes that you use? What's the equipment that you use? All the various different timings that you go through. You all know better than anybody how to produce your product. Of course, understanding the variation in the raw materials is where the measurement device or the fat analysis machine comes in. We want to understand how what is actually going through the production line is different to what was originally intended. But then, of course, to actually deliver any value to your business, we need to be able to react to the results that the fat analysis machine generates. It is only by going through this process that FA machines, acting as a system, are able to actually stop the giveaways that we demonstrated in the first few slides.